I'm Deb Hopper, occupational therapist and Amazon #1 bestselling author from Life Skills for Kids in Australia. And thanks for dropping by. Every day in my professional life, I see children who are struggling with interpreting the information from their environment, and this makes it difficult to cope with unexpected events, to cope with behaviour, to cope with emotional regulation. And often this looks like kids who are teary or oppositional or defiant, having like behavioural issues. But often it's the sensory-driven behaviour that underlies this, that is really pushing their buttons and making it hard for them to cope with everything sometimes, both at home and at school, or sometimes bits and pieces at home or at school. It really depends on the children. And I see parents and teachers who are just at their wits' ends. They're unsure what's happening, and they can't quite put their finger on the underlying issue of why these children are really, really struggling. It's really difficult for them from day to day. So what are sensory processing issues? Sometimes these sensory inputs make it hard for kids to concentrate. They might be restless, they find it hard to focus on work. They might be oversensitive to noise or to different textures. This feels like it's like a noxious stimulus in their body. It's way too much. A little bit of noise, a little bit of touch can be way too much for these kids, for their nervous systems. So the impact on sensory events differ from children to children, and it can change from day to day with the same child as well. For some children, they overreact to sensory events or sensory inputs. A little bit of touch, the brush of a friend next to them at school can feel way too much for them, and their emotions and their reaction, their behaviour just overflows. Whereas for some kids, they go into that freeze response, and they might sit there frozen, and they might put their hands over their ears, and they just can't move because it's just way too much for them as well. And when children are reacting like this, reacting to the different sensory events, it can make day-to-day life for parents and teachers really, really difficult and really tricky when we're not really sure what the triggers are or why this is happening for the child. But it needn't be like that. So I have over 20 years experience as an occupational therapist working in both mental health and paediatrics, and this is my passion. I just love to help parents and teachers to be able to understand, to assess, to see, is it a sensory-based problem, or are there other issues that are impacting and contributing to this behaviour or the emotional dysregulation. The sensory processing can be a missing piece of the puzzle. Sensory is not everything, I understand that, but often it's the missing piece that hasn't been thought about and is often misunderstood. So I just love to work with kids, to sit beside them and to help them understand and to be able to have better coping strategies for working on their anxieties and their worries, and to help them feel more safe and connected in their world, to their peers and to their adult parents and carers. So I really want to help you to be able to understand how to work with these kids who are struggling in your life. So click on the box below which is relevant to you, and I'll see you on the inside for great resources and help to be able to help you help the children that you work with. Thanks for dropping by. It was lovely to meet you.